from Vegas to nowhere, someplace better than where you've been. A beat up stove that needs some fixing, in a little cafe just around the bend.
This is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from Jamil. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, bear in mind it might take a while to get to it, but if you want to, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under the video. This is for a pilot of a short-lived TV show called Bagdad Cafe in 1990. And these short-lived TV shows, yeah, this is just the pilot, but I find them interesting because everyone knows about the shows that last 8, 9 seasons, but there's so much more of a gluttony of shows, whether good or bad, they either lasted only an episode or 5 episodes or a season, maybe 2. In this case, I think up to 15 episodes were made, and from what I understand, this is based on a movie called Bagdad Cafe, which to me is an awful title. But I guess the movie, there were people who liked it, but you never hear anyone talk about that movie. So I find it weird that they decided to do a TV show based on a movie that people would barely have heard of. And it's an awful show. I mean, I take that back. Show title. Not awful. It's not an awful show. It's a meh pilot. I should say that. Let's not get ahead of myself here. As a pilot, it was okay. It has its issues, though. It's not the worst thing I ever saw. The title is an awful title. Because when you look at it, it sounds as if it's a war show. It sounds like it's going to be something akin to MASH or Tour of Duty or even China Beach, that TV show. So to name that as a title of your sitcom, Bagdad Cafe, and then this is 1990, we're getting into a certain war where Bagdad is another meaning to it. So the premise of the show is Whoopi Goldberg and Jean Stapleton are the stars. Whoopi Goldberg, of course, she had done The Color Purple by this point, Jumpin' Jack Flash. This is around the time she was doing the film Ghost and won an Oscar. But I think by that point, guessing is because she had a couple box office flops. Because I know around this time she did Burglar, which I didn't mind. I mean, it was there, but that film, it didn't do well. She did another film called Homer and Eddie, which I didn't care for. That did not do well. This is before Ghost, which was a huge hit. Because it came out in 1990, but they were probably making it, I don't know, 89, give or take. And so this is before Ghost. This is before Sister Act, which helped her career quite a bit, at least for a little while. And then later on, she would have another TV show just called Whoopi. But yeah, Whoopi Goldberg. I like Whoopi Goldberg. I love Jumpin' Jack Flash. I love Ghost. I don't agree with a lot of her politics and stuff, but I do find her funny. Jean Stapleton, she was Edith from All in the Family. And I didn't grow with All in the Family, but I know of the show. I've seen clips of the show. And Edith, she doesn't really play that character in this. Not that she's supposed to, but I'm just saying for those who are wondering, is she like her character All in the Family? Not really. Whoopi Goldberg owns a cafe and a motel. Her husband is played by Cleavon Little from Blazing Saddles, the lead guy, which was cool. And then they end up breaking up in the pilot episode. From what I understand, he does come back. But the show should have been about these two. Because when these two are on screen, that's when the chemistry works the best. Should be about these two trying to own this cafe as well as this motel. And because it's a motel, the concept is fine because the motel gives a reason for all these different people to come in and out of the show. They need to stay in the room for a night or a week or a month. And then the cafe, you have one place where all these characters can hang out together. And then the motel, why do people come in here? Like Cheers. People come in there because it's a bar. They go in and out. Same with here. You have a cafe, people go in and out. People can sit around a table, the kitchen to, all that stuff. But Whoopi Goldberg and Jean Stapleton, they just did not have chemistry with each other. Jean Stapleton, she plays an older lady who is with her husband. The car breaks down. One thing leads to another. She leaves him because he's an asshole. And she walks by herself down the road. She comes across this motel. Whoopi's acting like a bitch. Okay, fine, I'll go. Whoopi goes, okay, fine, you know what? You can stay. And they just seemed awkward together. They just didn't have chemistry with each other. I think that's what killed it. Because Whoopi Goldberg, Jean Stapleton, that doesn't seem like, oh, this is the match I've been waiting for. Not really. And the opening titles send the wrong message. When you look at the opening titles of the pilot, it's very somber music. I'm going, is this supposed to be for a sitcom? Like, this is kind of very somber music, what's supposed to be a sitcom. Think of the opening of Home Improvement. Or even the opening of Family Matters. Even the opening of the sitcom Elf, which I have over here on DVD. I have the German DVDs because they have a bit more of the episodes that were not cut for syndication. So the episodes have a bit more footage that the German DVDs do. But that opening, like, they set the mood. This didn't set the mood for for a sitcom. Now, the episode, there are a couple fun moments. Whoopi Goldberg's working at the cafe and notices these two. You get the idea they're going to be ready to do the horizontal tango. And Whoopi's like, this ain't the wham bam, thank you ma'am, motel. Or when Cleavon Little gives his food to another girl who's in this bed, and Whoopi Goldberg gets pissed and chases her out the window. Oh, look at your droopy booty leaving skid marks. I'm going, okay, like these two, husband and wife, they work well together, they have good chemistry with each other. Cleavon Little has proved he's funny in Blazing Saddles as the lead. But then you get Jean Stapleton. You've been crying. You've been crying, have you? I've been peeling a husband. Or you have this, like Whoopi has a daughter. I think she has a son as well. James Diamond is in the film, in the show. I keep saying it's film. James Diamond, he's the manager in Major League and Major League 2. The old curmudgeon but heart of gold, the manager with the mustache and the deeper voice. That's James Diamond. He was funny. I once made a woman disappear. I married her. But then not much else to the episode. Jean Stapleton cleaned up her office. Whoopi Goldberg gets pissed. Says, I want you out. So Whoopi Goldberg just came off as an asshole in this. Just came off. That's the thing. First impressions are a big time deal. when you're having a pilot. And it's funny, someone once commented on when I reviewed the first episode of Chuck, and they said, well, how can you judge a show based on a pilot? I'm like, networks do that all the time, Jagoff. That guy was being a dick. If you like that show, if you like that pilot, fine. I've only seen the pilot, but I thought the Chucky TV show looked like shit. And I thought the pilot was shit. That's just my opinion. If you liked it, cool. To each their own. But the guy was I liked a dick, and I said, listen, if you like the show, that's fine. But yes, you can judge it by a pilot because networks do that all the time. That's why they look at a pilot. If it doesn't do well, it doesn't get picked up. If people look at it and go, this is pretty off, it doesn't get picked up. Or you leave a bad first impression, you might not have a lot of room to grow. And yes, sometimes you can have not the best pilot and have eventually a good show, but that requires a bit of luck, a bit of talent, luck to stay as long as you can, to get that moment to shine, talent to make sure when the occasion happens, you're up to it. But the pilot can be very important. There is probably hundreds and hundreds of pilots that never even seen the light of day. Because they make the pilot and they showed it to some test group. They said, no, we're not going to bother airing this. And that's what, if a company, but I keep wanting to say a company, that'd be cool if they just release all these unaired pilots. But then the problem is, that's royalties you have to pay for all those people involved working on those pilots. So that's why they won't do it. Oh, well, I worked on this and you're making money off it, so I get a piece of change. Then you all the work to have to go into all these people that made this one episode. It's a lot of work and headache. So that's why they don't release it. Which is, I get it, but on the flip side, it's too bad, because there's a lot of interesting curiosity to partake in it. That's why maybe do it like how they have movies and people rent movies, or they use ad revenue, and you take the ad revenue and pay whoever. Maybe you do it that way, that could work. But yeah, just Whoopi Goldberg came off as a kind of a bitchy character. And then, okay, fine, you can stay. And again, Whoopi and Cleveland worked better than Gene Stapleton. Gene Stapleton, maybe because I didn't grow with All in the Family, maybe because even if you did, she stopped playing Edith Bunker. So maybe even then it's like, I don't know if she fits in this. Now, I had to look up some info. Apparently, the season 1 happened. You got whatever reviews. The ratings were not blockbuster ratings. Not by far. But I guess in season 2, which I don't know how, I mean, from what I understand, there's maybe 15 episodes total. I think it debuted in 1990, and from what I read up in November 1990, Whoopi Goldberg and this executive producer were fighting, and that apparently Whoopi told CBS president, and that no, quitting the show. I'm done with this show. And that's why the show ended. And they had no time to recast the show, so they ended the series. I guess there were remaining episodes from the broadcast schedule. So maybe, they say there's 2 seasons. Maybe there was, in a way, technically 1 season. Or maybe it was like 1 season was maybe 10. This is what I'm being vague because there's not a lot of info on this. There's one thing on YouTube where a guy talked about for like 30 minutes, but everything was fine. And then he said, well, if we didn't have these 2 people, I don't know what the guy was talking about. I think it's been so long he doesn't remember that show. He's like, well, if we didn't get rid of these 2 people, and I'm like, who? I don't even think he told what 2 people were. Maybe of old age he forgot. But what I read up is that Whoopi was a rude person around this time. She was not a nice person around this time. Honestly, she was not a nice person. She would treat people like shit. Which is ironic because of how holier-than-thou attitude she gets when she was on that show, The View. The show ranked, I think, 74th for its season. And, yeah, apparently, whether Whoopi Goldberg said, I want more creative freedom. Again, by November 1990, that's around the time Ghost is coming out. And Ghost became a big hit. I'm trying to remember if Ghost came out... When did Ghost come out? I apologize. I gotta look this up. I apologize. I know it's a waste. But I can't help it. Again, to Jamil, I would say the pilot was okay at best because Whoopi, I like her persona. She still got a couple chuckles out of me by some of her line readings. Again, to say for the 4th time, the stuff between her and Cleavon Little I thought worked the best. James Gammon, the teeny bit he was in, he got a laugh out of me. There's definitely stuff that reminds you of old sitcoms, like the daughter has this boyfriend named Snake, and Snake's pretty much going, hey. Like, you know, being silly in the era of sitcoms. I'm trying to look, like, when did Ghost come out? It was 1990, but when in 1990? Sorry. Actually, let me try this out. See if this will work. Ghost, 1990 release date.
In the United States of America, Ghost was released on July 13th, 1990.
Okay. So that actually makes more sense now. Because by that time, I had to make sure. That makes more sense because that film was a huge hit. That was a huge hit. And by November, there were talks of Oscar buzz. And she was nominated for an Oscar. Like, and she would go on to win. So I think Whoopi's like, well, I should get more creative control. I have this film that's a #1 hit. I've got all these critical accolades from critics. But now I'm doing this TV show. And that's the thing. She took the show before this film. Now it's a huge hit. She's stuck on this show. It might be her going, I'm going to act like a bitch to get off this show. And unless I get this, this, and this, I'm going to be off the show. It could be that as well. It's kind of like what she tried to do with Theodore Rex. And then they threatened to sue her. It's like, no, you don't finish Theodore Rex. Because you said yes at this one point, tough titty. And yet before then, she had box office flops. I mean, let me look at what she had before. Again, I apologize, but... Whoopi Goldberg filmography. Okay. This was her movies at the time. 85, The Color Purple. 86, Jumpin' Jack Flash, which I enjoyed. It was a decent-sized hit. You know, made a little bit of money. Fun film, my favorite Whoopi Goldberg film. I love Jumpin' Jack Flash. Burglar didn't do well. Fatal Beauty, I liked. It didn't do well. The Telephone, that's probably her worst film. Not even probably. I would say that's the worst film I've seen. Really? Worst? I would rather watch Theodore Rex. It's a bad movie, but it's better than The Telephone. Because The Telephone is 80 minutes of her talking on the phone. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, nah, nah. Then you come to find out there was no one on the other end because she was crazy. And then she kills someone, and then she gets on the phone again. That's the entire film. She's in like one room the entire time. Horrible fucking film. That film didn't do anything. So again, Burglar made like... Cost 12, made 16. So it wasn't much of a hit. Fatal Beauty, box office flop. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I just... Yeah, The Telephone. Claire's Heart was a drama that only made $5 million in the U.S. So again, series of flops. Burglar maybe made a teeny bit of money, but not like a blockbuster, not a Dame Buster hit. Fatal Beauty didn't do well. Telephone didn't do well. Claire's Heart didn't do well. Homer and Eddie didn't do well at all. That was a flop. And I thought pretty bad film in my opinion. And so by that time, fuck. I've had at least 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 flops. 4 to 5 flops. What the fuck am I going to do? I better do this TV show. And then do the TV show. Holy shit, Ghost. Made a shit ton of money. You know how much Ghost made? $505 million worldwide on a $22 million budget. July 13th, 1990. And then March 1991, you had the Oscars where Whoopi Goldberg won for Best Supporting Actress. But there's probably buzz in November about that's going to be. Or they're going to try their best. So either I want more, give me more creative control, no, okay, I quit. Or I want to get myself fired, but I'll just say, I quit, fuck it. Because then after this, she did a film called Soap Dish, which was an ensemble film. And what else was it? What was it? Sister Act in 1992, and that made a lot of money. $231 million worldwide on a $31 million budget. So 1990, Ghost. 91, some experimental stuff. 92, the Sister Act. And there you go. And then 95, 96, things were fucked up again. Because you had Theodore Rex. Eddie, which I like Eddie. That's the basketball movie where she's a coach. I don't mind that film, but that was a bomb. $31 million it made on a $30 million budget. Corina, which no one saw, because it only made, well, $20 million on a $22 million budget, so that was a bomb. Bogus, The Associate. How much did The Associate make? $12 million. So yeah, she became box office poison around that time. Because she was choosing, I liked Eddie, but the other films were bad choices. Theodore Rex. Associate. Then after that, she got, bit parts and other stuff, so. And as for TV, let me look at TV real quick. See this. Yeah, Bagdad Cafe. Yeah, premiered March of 1990. March of 1990. Think about that. March of 1990. Before Ghost came out. And it was competing with Family Matters. So that's another reason why it bombed. Yeah, the first season was 6 episodes. From March 1990 to May 1990. I'm sorry I go a bit longer, but I figure, hopefully Jamil won't mind this. Yeah, pilot was March 1990, 6 episodes to May 1990. And then season 2 was supposed to go September 1990. November 23rd, 1990 was episode 7. Then July 27, 1991 was episode 8 and 9. So that's been like... Maybe when Sister Act came out. That's probably what happened. Sister Act came out. No. That was 92. Maybe like Ghost. Like something to do with Ghost. Like that was coming out, I don't know, VHS or something. Or something to do with Whoopi Goldberg. Like, hey, let's show this TV show. Let's show all of it because it's 15 episodes. Maybe we'll get some more eyes on for advertisers. At least for that night or that week or something. Or whenever the hell they showed it. But, yeah. There you go. But yeah, the... Bad title. Awful title. It sounds like a war show. Or like a war comedy like MASH. Or I didn't like China Beach. Or it's like the war, but this is the cafe the soldiers go to. Like Bagdad Cafe. I know it's based on a movie, but it's an awful title. Her and Gene Stapleton, Whoopi, they didn't have chemistry with each other. Cleveland Leto, James Damon, they seem funny. Whoopi has energy to her, but I think also there were moments that made me chuckle. It was 20 minutes. It was an easy watch, but at the same time, there was some improvement in writing that could be had as well. So, I did. Interesting, because I'd never seen it before. But again, it's intriguing, these short-lived stuff that I doubt there's like a DVD of this show or anything. So, without stuff like YouTube and other formats, they get lost through time. And it's not the worst thing I've seen. It's just, meh, there. And if you're a hardcore Whoopi Goldberg or maybe a hardcore Gene Stapleton fan, you do much worse, but you do much better as well. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.